Good day, Miller Family Farm Channel. Today, we're going to be working on the Honda Talon, the 2021 Honda Talon 1000X-4 Fox Live. And we're doing all kinds of modifications to this machine. We just bought it about a month ago. And so far, we've installed an amazing cargo holder, because like many people, I don't know if you can see that, it's up on the trailer. We have it in the dump trailer, but we got the cargo box back there. We also put on the Moose bed extender, and that thing is just incredible. You know, we've been talking to Super ATV, and you know, we just kind of came to the conclusion that they're not going to get our business. That, you know, their products are not always, you know, the best engineering, in my opinion, and lots of reasons. But we're going to be really looking at what is the best in the marketplace and what isn't. We'll be honest with you from start to finish. So today, we're going to be installing these door panels, both front and back. We looked at a lot of different ones, including the OEM panels, and you know, we kind of landed on we have to really watch our weight. How much weight are we putting on this machine with all the mods? And so we finally ended up with some door panels that are super lightweight, aluminum, one piece, and super easy to install with the highest quality. So we're going to be taking a look at those in a minute. For the people who don't know why, Honda doesn't include the bottom door panels. I don't know if anybody can actually answer that question. You know, they should. If you're running hard and fast, where do you think all that dirt's going to go off that front tire? You guessed it. And this thing does get incredibly dirty on the inside. I mean, you know, everybody complains about that. And so there's all kinds of aftermarket parts for actually putting in this door panel, because that's just ridiculous. I don't know what Honda's thinking, but we're going to fix this anyways. Enough complaining. So we're going to put a door panel there, and on the other side, Honda came up with a fix for this, but it's like almost $500 with shipping for some plastic door panels. We opted out for Tusk, T-U-S-K. Look down in the description, and you'll see we've looked at everything like Super ATV, but again, we opted not to do business with them. They're difficult, you know, to do business. They're just a no. So we got Tusk, and we think that is, you know, way better than the Aftermarket, the plastic Aftermarket. It is aluminum. It is super lightweight, and it's super easy to install, and it's super quality. So let's take a look at that. I opened one of the boxes already. These are the two boxes. They come in front and back. And when you're ordering these on the links below, make sure that you get front and back, because there's a lot of, we almost did it ourselves when we ordered it and looking for the best possible prices on these. We clicked on front only, and we thought it was a set of 4, but it wasn't. It's only a front set. So there's a couple door panels in this package. There is a couple rubber seal gaskets in this package. Some simple instructions, some nuts and bolts. And that is about it. There's our rear package. All right, Ian. So we're installing the Tusk door panels today on the 2021 Honda Talon, and that's the front one. It looks like, is it right in the hole above that? Looks like it fits right in there, does it?
Yeah, it goes right in here. It'll get rid of some of the dust and everything that everybody complains about getting in there. I guess you take these things out and you run them, and it's a mess. No time flat. So
yeah, I know everybody complains about it. They ask the question like, why doesn't Honda give you plates for these? But so right behind that front tire, man, it just loads the cabin out with dust so bad you just want to wear a COVID mask. So okay, so we're going to install that. What do you got in your hand there?
So this is the actual weather stripping seal. it'll help kind of seal this in, and yeah, it's not going to be totally weatherproof, but it's going to help keep a lot of that dust out.
It'll keep 99% of the dust out. By just investing the $200 or $300 for these panels, it will keep 90% of all that out. Yeah.
Nice little kit. I mean, simple. Yeah. You know, you do have to drill 3 holes. They did elongate the holes for adjustment in and out, which is nice. But you still got to get it just right and pre-fit it. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. So now we have the tools that you're going to need for the job. Really not that much. 13mm wrench. Want to have your Allen wrench kit here. 1 Allen wrench is all you need for your...
What size Allen wrench does it say?
I think it was 3/16. And you got your 8x20 button head bolts, washers, nuts, you know, and then we've got a couple of DeWalt kits here that we're going to use, which we got for the drill bits, because you're going to need the drill bit to take the doors off. So you get in there and you take the screws off the doors, which you'll see in a minute. And we found the 21/64 drill bit in this Tactics box here, because DeWalt didn't have it in
What's
there.
Tactics mean, Ian? For everybody who doesn't know what that means.
That is just the manufacturer, I guess, of this nice little drill bit index. So, yeah, right on the money. Usually I'm looking for that one.
So it was so in the Tusk, it was an unusual sized drill bit. It's always good to have a good drill bit set that has multiple bits in it, because if you break one, it sucks. Your job stops. So we'll try to find a really good set and put it down below, just like that set that we have there. If that is available, we'll put that down below, and they're good quality drills too. All right. So what are we doing next, Ian? What's the process?
All right. Back in here and find this door handle. There we go. So we are taking these screws out. I've got most of them out just to save time for install video purposes. And there's 8 screws that need to come out. Just simple. And you'll see them just all around the door. They're just simple.
And they're in the directions too from the Tusk. Tusk has really good directions, I have to say. Full color directions, like pictures. Like, it's really, they did a good job.
So now we're going to put the sealing, weather stripping on the bottom door here. See, you're going to want to make adjustments to the weather stripping.
Yeah, we could see daylight right through there now. An inch of daylight right where your hand's at. Right in the video.
And you want to try to get this right before you make your holes, because once you make your holes, they're in there.
Okay, so it looks like, Ian, that the biggest part of this job, it's like a skill set from 0 to 1 to 10 is like a skill set of a 1. If you could drill a hole, you can install this simple panel. And the only thing that will require a little due diligence is your patience. That is, when you look here, you can see right through to the red seats behind it. So adjusting this rubber gasket and making sure that your plate is exactly where you need it. We saw that probably we want to be not even flush with this, which would be common sense, but just a little past it, so that we eat up that gap. You see a huge gap? God, it looks huge in the video. That we slide this whole panel forward to eat up that 3/4 of an inch gap. And the whole thing is about getting that seal to be a seal on this job.
Okay, so door panel's off. I've already drilled a couple of the holes, but I'll show you what we did here. I took my Sharpie and drew this out to the edge.
You can barely see that, but there's a Sharpie mark right there. Oh, you can see it there. Yep.
And then if you look right here, after we got this seal, it only took a few minutes to get that seal lined up to where we could get it.
So that's the biggest challenge though, right, Ian?
Yeah.
Is moving this panel back and forth a little bit. We're going just slightly past this line right here. to get this seal sealed. So this, you're going to say, well, that's not exactly flush. It isn't. It's about a 16th inch forward, so we can get this gasket to fully get rid of that dust and debris coming in there. All right, so you were saying, Ian,
You can see the marks that I've made here. And then
with your Sharpie.
With the Sharpie.
Yeah.
You know, and I made them here and here as well.
Yep.
And then we measured to give us full adjustment.
And just so you know, he's making these marks because we need to drill through those marks to put the 3 bolts here into there. So, you know, measure 15 times and drill once.
So from the edge, we're looking right at 1 inch, and that'll give you full adjustability in and out.
So you'll be dead center in that adjustable slot that Tusk puts on there. Yep.
Elongated hole.
Yep.
And then we went 1 inch in here as well. So pretty. Get this last one done here, and then we'll go to put the bolts in.
So really, Ian, there's only 3 holes that need to be drilled. It's more about just taking your time and making sure that you're putting your holes in the perfect spot so you can get airtight sealment.
Real easy, drilling through plastic.
Yep.
Nothing to it. Double check, and then drill once. And it should be good to go.
All right, Ian. So our analness comes into play yet again. So what happened? What did we discover about the Tusk set?
We fit this in. We put the door panel back on, and we decided that we needed to shim this down to get a really good fit. And so what we're going to do...
And what do you mean by shim?
Well, we're going to put some washers, one washer here, 2 washers on this bolt to bring this down.
Hold it, but you're going to put the washers not here where you see them, but actually in between.
Correct.
So we're going to put 2 washers here just to bring this front down to seal this lip up right here. We're going to put 1 washer there to bring it down, and then no washer in between there.
That's going to get us a little closer on the bottom too. And
then
make some adjustments on the seal. It's actually really easy to make the adjustments on the seal. Just kind of bring it down.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that, and then from one of our other projects, we learned with the weather stripping on the box, if you remember, which I'm sure you can see the link. We're going to use this weather stripping.
So
on here
hold on.
Because of the gap that was made.
But hang on 1 second. So put it back up. No, the door.
Okay.
And we're going to try to show them what we're talking about by actually looking through this.
Gotcha.
Right here, you can see the red from the seats behind it. So when we put those extra washers in there, it created a gap. So we're going to just modify this slightly by using this auto and marine weather stripping to eat up that gap and to make sure that it's extremely airtight. Now, that is not a Tusk thing. That's just a custom modification that we're doing. And this stuff is pretty cool. We used it on the cargo box in the back of this, and we have a little piece left just to try it here. And we think it's going to work just great and make it really airtight. And then we'll go buy another package of this and go do all 4 of the doors the same way. So Ian's taking a little alcohol as he always does, because he's about doing a job 120% perfect. And the alcohol just cleans off any debris so that weather stripping really stays on there, permanently. And this is just regular, house strength alcohol, so.
Yeah, and it really is perfect. I mean, it's just the right width to get in there and fit and still give you full adjustment on your...
So you can still get into the screws,
holes, yeah.
Or the bolts and all that, yeah.
So good call on that one.
Okay, so he's going to stick that on there, and we'll be right back to bolt it on.
Hey, George.
So, that weather strip was pretty freaking cool.
Man, I think that did something that was kind of unplanned. A little side effect.
Well, first, that is, now you talk about airtight. That is just amazing. As far as getting a good seal. And one of the things that we always deal with on these Hondas is that everybody complains about what, Ian?
The doors rattling.
The doors rattling. It drives you freaking crazy. And this one did too. So I was telling Ian when we get the panels on that we'll have to go back and adjust all these doors to see if we can get the crazy rattle out. But guess what? What happened?
Well, because we put the weather strip on, we put the 2 washers here, the 1 washer here. It kind of tweaked the panel, tilted a little bit in.
Towards the machine, yeah.
So now it's a real tight fit.
So
still no effort to shut the door, but now it just makes the seal that much tighter.
So open it one more time. Let's look at this. It was just so cool it turned out this way, but for everybody watching, you should do this. So, you know, normally when this is here, it just rattles. Like it just rattles on these Hondas.
Here. I can duplicate it.
Yeah. Yeah, like that. So when we put this rubber gasket in the top there to get rid of the seal, it pushed this bottom door panel just like maybe a 1/16 of an inch over there. So when we close it, like it's stuck right here, like you can see the resistance. But when you actually just slam it, like there is no rattle whatsoever. So we're excited about the rest of these doors. We're doing 2 jobs in one by just applying that simple weather strip gasket for marine grade weather stripping in there. It takes care of that job. So when we do that door and the other 3 doors, that will be taken care of too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it does on the rear ones because these are really the worst. So.
Those, yeah, they're ridiculous. I mean, you know, I know all of our fellow video watchers, like everybody complains about that, and they are just a pain to adjust out if you ever do actually get them adjusted out. So this was a great side effect of just doing jobs 120%. It actually made our job 140% perfect. Okay, so we're going to put the next panel on and we'll be right back. We're dremeling right to left, or actually I guess from rear to front, because the panel was probably a 1/2 inch off, and so we're kind of making slots this way so that we can put the bolts in and move that panel forward so it has a good seating good. And Ian's using a Dremel tool right now just to kind of create like a slot that we can slide these bolts around. And we're kind of learning that this Tusk panels, I mean, they're great for half or less than half the price of the OEM, but they do require, you know, man hours and fitment. And so we probably got, at least we thought this was going to be a 15-minute job, and we probably got about 1.5 hours into it right now. So if you're good at fitment and doing all that, then Tusk are good. And if not, OEM, the links below are where you want to be. Are you done yet, Ian?
Well, my 15-minute project is taking me about an hour.
What? Well, that's the problem, isn't it, Ian, with aftermarket and, you know, and OEM? That is always the problem, is that aftermarket, it never is quite 120%, you know?
Yeah, but it does what they say they're going to do. A little bit of gap here, but then judging by the OE gap, I mean, really, it's not that big of a deal, you know?
You know, we'll say more about that because we really focused on getting both those panels so airtight. But this little slot right up the center, tell them how wide that is.
Fat hands, so.
That's 1.5 inches, 100% air through component that we can't fix. That is from the factory that way. So even though we took all the time to put these in so perfectly, that we minimized all the air we can. This slot right up the middle there is 1 inch to 1.25 inches wide, and you know, so we just kind of learned what we learned, Ian. Like,
yeah, but I'll tell you another positive thing is this door is tight.
Yes, there is no rattle in these doors.
Fit. So I mean, we still got to run it and see, but I have a feeling there's not going to be a rattle.
The Tusk lower panels, like they both, the front and back, really took all that rattle and kind of looseness out of the door where it's really impressively solid when you close it.
Yeah, so when you're installing it, you want to watch this right here and make sure that...
Well, say more about that.
You want to watch the curves and make sure that when you're installing and you're marking for drilling, you want to make sure the curves match each other.
Yeah, because that back little slot right here,
Because this back one's a real tight fit.
when we try to push it forward, that little bend right there, it would only go so forward to give us enough room on this back slot to really properly space it. So Ian's just like, man, he spent some time on that. Our 15-minute job turned into an hour job. All right, Ian, you want to say anything else before we get the driver's side done?
Yeah, I'm going to wrap up the driver's side and we'll tell you our recommendations and what we think at the end. And George is going to put good links at the bottom. So
Yeah, stay tuned at the end. We'll give you a really honest review about the 3 different products that we know of for these lower door panels, and we'll tell you what we really, really, really recommend at the end. Okay. All right. Well, here we are, Ian, on the passenger, or on the driver's side, rather, and how'd it go?
this side went on just that fast. I mean, it was easy. So I don't know if it was after doing this side, I got the little tricks, or if it just actually fit better, but it seemed to fit a lot nicer on the back, which was good because the other side was really, really tight.
Yep. And how did all the lines, all the lines line up on this side like so much better?
Yeah, everything lined up better on this side. It was amazing. I mean, it just took me a few minutes to do this side.
It does look so sexy with the bottom doors, and of course we didn't install it for sex appeal. We installed it just so that we had all the dirt and dust and all that got kicked up in there. So
And you put some cool stickers right there.
we are gonna put some cool stickers on there. All right, so here we are at the end of the video, Ian. What do we want to tell our good family here about the Tusk lower door panels compared to OEM?
OEM typically is a better fitment, but you pay a higher price.
Yeah. What's the price difference here from the Tusk that we installed compared to OEM?
Well, you said it was about $440 for the OEM, and then I think it was about $192 for the Tusk. So, but for the money, it's definitely worth it. I like them. They're nice. They look nice.
I have to say that too, Ian. That, I mean, yes, there was more labor in the fitment, just really making them that, where you have to have them in order to seal it up, because that's the whole purpose, is to seal up that dirt and all the dust coming in. So it did take more. I mean, Ian and I are both like, this is going to be the fastest video ever. But it did take, I think, a couple hours, maybe a little bit longer in order to do that. And we had to buy a weather strip for the top of the front doors. And so it did take a little bit more, but they look great.
Yeah.
They look amazing.
All in all, little music, little fun.
Yeah. So it's your choice. Below in the link is going to be the the OEM prices, which is about $442, and then these are $440, and the Tusk are $192. And right now we're not really recommending hugely the Super ATV, and so I would just choose from both of those down there. You've seen how they installed the Tusk, and the OEM are just jamming, of course, because they get all the money for those. Anything for you, Ian?
That's about it. Have a good night.
All right.
Good weekend.
There she is. Wait for our next video. Oh, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, click now. Oh, my God. We do everything outdoors. 4x4 trucks, ATVs, farming, you name it, we do it outdoors. And you can visit, too, by the way, USALandLiquidators.com if you need to sell land or know anybody that does. Or you could actually go to TheOrganicFarmMarket.com if you like grass-fed beef and everything else.